Welcome back to Brainflow TV, Hot Topics TV. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and let's talk about this whole YNW Melly situation. Man, listen, today I'm doing this video is June 20th of 2024. I know y'all tired. I'm tired of this too. I just want to see this case go to trial and be over with. Honestly, Melly been locked up for years. So I don't know how this is not violating his constitutional rights. And remember, I'm the person who said before, I saw the whole first trial that they had, and I came away with the feeling that Melly is guilty. But now they have him sitting in limbo. I'm thinking this has got to be a violation of someone's constitutional rights. Like, when the hell is this man going to have a trial? And a trial that ends in something. Anyways, the latest update says it's been nearly a year since a panel of jurors in YNW Melly's double murder case declared that they were deadlocked on the rapper's guilt. Since then, Melly's retrial has been pushed back further, though not without a series of twists and turns. So here's what's been going on. In July of 2023, the jury announced that it could not reach a unanimous decision on the first-degree murder charges after 3 days of deliberation. The mistrial set off a whirlwind that ended with a prosecutor getting kicked off of the case and key evidence thrown out and new charges brought in. All types of stuff happening. Melly now, whose real name is Jamel Demons, has been behind bars in Broward County, Florida, since February of 2019. We're in 2024. He's accused of killing his childhood friends, Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas Jr., also known as Juvie and Sack Chaser, in an alleged drive-by cover-up after spending the early morning hours of October 26, 2018, at a Fort Lauderdale recording studio. They were all together. They left together, and then people ended up dead. Some people ended up at the hospital with 2 dead bodies in the car, etc., etc. Williams and Thomas, both aspiring rappers with the YNW collective, were known as YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie, respectively. The 25-year-old, because Melly is now 25 years old. The 25-year-old is currently facing the death penalty if he is convicted. His case will be considered under the 8-4 jury vote, the lowest threshold in the country for a death sentence. So not too long ago, before Ron DeSantis came into office, all it needed 12 jurors unanimously to say death penalty for them to hit you with the death penalty. Ron DeSantis came in and changed that. He said, all we need is 8 out of the 12. If 8 jurors out of the 12 jurors say death penalty, you're going to the death house. So this is where Melly case sits. So where does Melly case stand today as of June 20th, 2024. In October, Broward Circuit Court Judge John Murphy, the judge who was overseeing this case, he yanked prosecutor Kristen Bradley from the retrial after defense attorneys said that they intended to call Kristen Bradley to the stand. The judge made it clear, though, that Kristen Bradley did not do anything wrong. But if the defense plans to call her to the stand, there's no way that she can get on the stand and testify and then get off the stand and defend her client who is on trial in the same trial. She can't be testifying and defending the same trial and prosecuting at the same time. So her ousting was linked to allegations of wrongdoing by Miramar Police Detective Mark Moretti, stemming from the October 22nd, 2022 incident. An incident in which they said that Mark Moretti must have lied and told another detective to cover up the lie for him, which they later on found out or proved to be all made up. Michelle Boutros, a Broward County prosecutor of 20 years that was assigned to the Public Corruptions Unit, previously alleged that the detective solicited a Broward Sheriff Office deputy to lie while executing a search warrant for the phone of Jamie King, that's YNW Melly's mother. In a September memo, Internal Affairs Sergeant Brittany Parker closed a complaint that was made by King, YNW Melly's mom, against Officer Moretti, who is the lead detective on her son's case, also writing that Boutros claims about Moretti contradicted the deputy's sworn statement. This was looking really bad because Michelle Boutros, a Broward County prosecutor of 20 years, was supposed to be on the side of the Broward Department, but she switched sides and went to bat for YNW Melly's team by saying that she overheard Mark Moretti telling a lie concerning this case, which threw the case into a tailspin. I don't even know how her work days are going. I'm pretty sure nobody speaks to her at work because that's just something that you don't do. In law enforcement, you back the blue, you stay with your team, you don't speak out against your team in public, you don't throw them under the bus. And this is a controversial murder case, given the fact that YNW Melly is or was somewhat of a famous rapper. And, you know, there's a lot of money floating around in this fight as well. And it's a double murder with a death penalty outcome if found guilty. And so to see a Broward County prosecutor actually go against the department and speak in favor of the person they're trying to get a conviction on, that was deep. Now, a new team of prosecutors were assigned to the case, including Alexandra Bukalu, who tried the three men who were convicted of fatally shooting XXXTentacion, the rapper, during a robbery. Y'all remember when they ran upon XXXTentacion, he had his car door up type thing, or the door went up during a robbery, something like that. But anyways, they put the gun in the car. X was out there to buy a motorcycle, and they ended up taking his life because he had a bunch of money on him, and they shot him because he wouldn't give it up. He chose to fight them instead. Well, those guys, the person who convicted them, or the person who took them to trial and prosecuted them rather, was Alexandra Bukalu, and she's the person now who's going after YNW Melly. She's a no-nonsense kind of person. She got those guys each life sentences. Well, two of them. The third one, I think, pled guilty, took a plea deal, and funny enough, ended up locked up in the same facility as YNW Melly, and also became a part of what YNW Melly got going on behind bars, hence his new charges. But that's for another discussion. So she's a no-nonsense kind of person. She goes to bat, she goes to bat. Life in prison without the possibility of parole is what she got those guys. Now, after taking over the case, Bukalu hit the ground running. She added dozens of witnesses into evidence alongside a list of 58 songs and witness tampering charges against YNW Melly. The witness tampering charges alone are serious. Now, while attorneys began selecting jurors at the end of 2023, it's unlikely that a jury will be seated for months and months to come. The case has remained at a standstill after prosecutors appealed to a higher court concerning the ruling that Murphy made to throw out some evidence. The prosecution is like, no, we don't want that evidence thrown out. We need that evidence to go to trial. So at this moment, I'm thinking the judge is tired of all this. The prosecution is tired of all this. The defense is getting paid pretty good, so they're not tired. It's just like, come on, bring it, let's go. And I remember the new attorney on YNW Melly's defense team saying, oh, we're going to fight this in a different way this time around. And they sure have been fighting it in a different way. They've been using methods that I would describe as obstructional, because that's what they've been doing. Filing a lot of motions, obstructing the process, slowing it down to a standstill. The last thing we heard was, of all the 58 songs and videos and whatever that Bookaloo brought in to be used in this trial, one of them, YNW Melly's attorneys, are saying, nah, that we can't use that one because it can be used against him. It's a clip where it shows him holding an AK-47, and this is a shooting case where, you know, he's accused of executing two friends of his at gunpoint with a gun. So showing videos of him to the jury with him holding a high power weapon like an AK-47, or any video where he speaks about his love for guns and how to use them, could end up being prejudicial towards him, is what his defense team is arguing. The prosecution is saying this video shows way more than that. This video actually shows exactly what they wanted to show, right? So the case has remained at a standstill, and the prosecutors appealed to a higher court saying Judge Murphy should not have thrown out that piece of evidence because it was good enough to be presented at trial. Appeal process are complex, okay? It's not an easy process, and this could take a while. And it could push Melly's retrial up until 2025. If they let it, 2025. Remember, he went in at 2019. So the bulk of the contested evidence was extracted from Melly's cell phone, from his email addresses, from his social media accounts. And under John Murphy's, the judge's ruling, most of the digital evidence that was admitted, including messages, will be confined to the day of the following, be confined to the day off and the day following the murder. So if you watch the first trial, right, they went way back in YNW Melly's text messages and emails and whatnot. And then they went way forward after the day of the murder. Way back before the day of the murders, way forward after the day of the murders. And if you remember the first trial, it was long and drawn out, and the jury members were falling asleep on the stand, and we who were watching it were getting bored, and we were falling asleep because they kept going over all these text messages that seemed like they really had nothing to do with the case. But what the prosecution was doing, they were trying to establish that this is YNW Melly's phone, even though YNW Melly, part of his defense was to deny. So he was going to deny all the way that this is not my phone. A bunch of different people use this phone. So they kept pulling up all the personal messages, conversations with his mother, intimate conversations with his girlfriend, and intimate pictures with his girlfriend, and just to let the jury know or see that even if this was a community phone, these aren't things you would do on a community phone, right? So that was drawn out. Now, leading into the retrial, the new trial that's supposed to be coming up, the judge said he wants the evidence to be limited to the day of the murders and the day following the murders, which I don't know if somebody paid this judge off, but it seems like it. Because how could you go off of only the day off? What about the day before? Something about the day before could tell you, like if somebody had texted somebody and said, yo, tomorrow we about to do it to them two boys, you know what I'm saying? We got this. Let's do it while we're leaving the recording studio. Or anything incriminating. That would be missed out because the judge has said he wants all the evidence, the digital evidence admitted, including messages, to be confined to the day of the murders and the day following the murders, not the days before The higher court, however, could overturn Murphy's decision, and I think that they should. At this point, I don't know if they paid Murphy off, or if Murphy is just getting tired and he's losing focus. And even the judge right now is making bad decisions in the YNW Melly trial, right? So while prosecutors shied away from quoting lyrics in YNW Melly's first trial, the new prosecution team, oh, they have no problem with it. They intend to do exactly that. They intend to admit 58 of the rapper's songs to his murder trial. Court records now show. Among the proposed evidence is double platinum selling song Murder on My Mind, which features a grim retelling of an unintentional homicide over a blend of emotional riffs and piano and a hip-hop beat type thing. The proposed evidence list includes songs from each of Rap Melly's 4 albums. Just a Matter of Slime, not Time, Slime, Melly versus Melvin, showing off his dual personalities, We All Shine, and I Am You. The state seeks to admit those album covers into evidence, as well as the songs and the lyrics to these songs. Well, text messages and phone calls, records, and whatever, that had the first trial drawn out. The second trial about to be drawn the hell out too, if they're about to go through 58 songs and all the lyrics in court. Now, for years, hip-hop lyrics have been weaponized in the courtroom across the U.S. A project reported by the Miami Herald assessed the lengthy history of rap music and criminal justice system as the genre marked its 50th anniversary, like happy 50th birthday to hip-hop. Some states have now ruled that lyrics from a rapper's songs cannot be used against them in court. But if you're in the state of Florida, your lyrics that you rap can definitely be used against you in the court of law in the state of Florida, where Melly is from and where his case is being tried. Now, in a filing, prosecutors said that the lyrical evidence was part of altering its strategy as opposed to reading a script from the first trial. Now, these are the defendant's own songs, and as such, they are clearly on notice of them. The document states they are the defendant's own words, and therefore it amounts to an admission. In other words, they're trying to set this up like he did something, committed a murder, and then went to the studio and made a song about it. And if you listen to the song, his confession is hidden in the songs. Now, while attorneys haven't appeared in court for months, Judge Murphy, who is overseeing the trial, has ruled to allow the parties to file motions and continue depositions or interviews with witnesses completed before the trial as they await the results of this appeal. The only thing that's holding it up right now is this appeal. But I'm willing to bet that once that appeal is cleared, they will have something else coming down the pipeline that's going to hold it up, because I think that this is a strategy from YNW Melly's attorneys. Court records indicate that Melly's legal team has requested that prosecutors turn over the phones of Thomas and Williams, who are the victims in the case. Prosecutors stated that they have previously provided extractions off the phone and that the defense ask is entirely based on conjecture, speculation, wild accusations, and an inaccurate or misleading statement. Defense attorneys have also penned several motions to throw out evidence in the witness tampering case, and they have argued that the charges should be dismissed because Mariah Hamilton, who is YNW Melly's ex-girlfriend, she was not properly summoned to appear in court. Well, that's a technicality, but they were under restrictions and were not supposed to be getting in touch with Mariah, her mama, and whoever else they were restricted from. And they do have proof that they were getting in touch with them. That's the reason why YNW Melly's co-defendant, YNW Bortland, or Cortland Henry, had his bail revoked and is now sitting in incarceration awaiting his own trial. Melly's co-defendant, Cortland Henry, who was also charged with the murders, and inmate Terrence Mathis. Terrence Mathis is the one who is from the XXXTentacion's case, the one who snitched on everybody else, pled guilty, and got his deal and avoided a life in prison without parole sentence. They were all accused of developing a sophisticated system of code words and fake names to communicate with people outside of the jail, right? In recorded jail calls, Mathis told Henry, Cortland Henry, Bortland, to talk to Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mama to make sure that she's still in the Maybach. Rihanna, a megastar singer and entrepreneur, shares 2 children with New York rapper A$AP Rocky. Investigator decoded the message to mean that Henry should keep Hamilton from testifying against the rapper YNW Melly. Melly's case, followed by hip-hop fans and true crime people who are interested in that type of stuff across the world, even led to him being name-dropped during the highly public feud between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. In the diss track Euphoria, Kendrick Lamar says, "Better hope they my real friends. If not, I'm YNW Melly." Better hope they my real friends. If not, I am YNW Melly. That means if you around me, you better hope you my real friend, because if you not and I find out, I'm killing you just like YNW Melly killed his 2 friends. So that could say, man, a lot of people out here are convinced after watching the first trial, because the prosecution did a good job of laying out too much evidence that YNW Melly's defense team just could not fight against. And that whole he was not in the car stuff is not going to work, because Trayvon Glass already said he was never in the car with us. And Trayvon Glass said he was asleep, but he woke up when they got to the guard shack. And they have a picture, a still pic from the guard shack, because the guard shack has videos as they enter the property. And the video shows all the occupants who are in that car. And Trayvon Glass is seen in the car with his eyes open as it matches his testimony in court. He said he fell asleep after they left the studio because he was tired driving to the house, but he woke up at the guard shack when they had to check in to get into the gated complex. And just as he said, you could see him on video with his eyes wide open. And guess who was not in the car? YNW Melly. So if that is YNW Melly's only defense, that he got out of that vehicle down the road to piss and ended up getting in another vehicle with Trayvon Glass in them, well, you had Trayvon Glass in that car who said you were never in that car with us. So either way you take it, YNW Melly going to prison. I don't know if he's going to get the death penalty or if he's going to get life without the possibility of parole, but we'll see when that time comes. Unless his defense team pulls some magic rabbit out the hat ass trick to save him. In the meantime, though, this case just keeps dragging and dragging and dragging like there is no end to it. And the latest update says it could possibly leak over into 2025. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's Hot Topics TV /BrainFlow TV. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.